Hi, everyone. Dr. Liz here. I am replaying an episode I did a couple of years ago about happiness that includes a free hypnosis to increase happiness. And I'm playing it because so many people are struggling right now with the pandemic and the quarantine going on. And happiness is a big topic of discussion. Like, how do you stay out of depression? How do you stay out of irritability, anger, even? And increase your sense of happiness right now. So I thought I would replay this episode because it's a good one. It talks about the research and then it also gives a free hypnosis. The hypnosis starts right around 13 minutes or so, 13 and a half. So if you want to skip all the research part, I totally understand. Just get to the hypnosis part. Just make sure that you're not driving while you're listening to this, that you're in a place that's safe and comfortable so that you can truly relax and get all the benefits that you need. All right, everyone. Remember that I am meditating on your well being almost every day. Know that someone out there really is thinking of you. And quickly before I go, if you're not sleeping well, check out my online group for insomnia. I just finished a cycle of it and I absolutely loved running it. So I am going to run it again. So just check the website for the dates on that. And that's drlizhypnosis.com. Peace. Hi, and welcome to the Hypnotize Me podcast, the podcast about hypnosis, transformation, and healing. I'm Dr. Liz, Dr. Elizabeth Bonet, and I am happy to be here today. We are going to talk about happiness. One, it's again one of the most common New Year's resolutions that people make is to feel happier, to feel better. Two, I think we're all trying to strive towards that in some form. And this is often why people come into my office, actually, is to feel happier, to feel more stable, is sometimes how they put it, to take away the panic attacks, to take away the anxiety. But when we're talking about that, we're saying, how do I feel better? How do I feel happier? And believe me, this has been a lifelong study for me. Is happiness. Like, how do you feel good? And not just as a psychotherapist, but also as my own personal journey. I've been suicidal several times in my life. And when I've gotten to that place, I've never attempted, happiness looks so far away, right? Like it looks like way over across the other side of the world. That's what it looks like to me. Like it's this feeling of not wanting to live, of nothing has meaning, of dragging myself out of bed and trying to find reasons to stay alive. And once I became a mother, several of those episodes, I had suicidal after both of my births, postpartum depression, but then at a separate time later down the road, all of those times, it was like, I didn't have the option to off myself because I had kids, honestly. Like I wasn't willing to do that to them. But I totally get it when people get in so much pain that they feel like even their kids and their loved ones would be better off without them. Like their very presence is just causing them pain. That is the thought that happens. I don't think that's the reality. I don't think that's the truth. But that's what you believe often when you're feeling that unhappy, when you're feeling that low, when you're feeling that depressed. So I'm always looking for studies, books, everything that says, okay, how do you feel happier in general? And to me, it became a process that my own therapist taught me about protecting myself against depression. Like, okay, I know I have to do this, this, and this to protect myself from going into depression. That's been part of my journey is to, when I get the first glimmers of depression or something like that coming, that I go into action for that. Like, okay, I know I need to do this, this, and this to get myself in gear and to stop this now before it gets more severe. So I just wanted to share that with you. Like, I get it. This is not a podcast where it's like everything is happy, shiny. Okay. I am all about reality. I'm all about like, yeah, life is hard sometimes, and how do we make it easier? I feel like I need to speak the truth around that and not just be like, oh, go to this and this will fix you. Like, that's just not me at all. A lot of treatment, a lot of life is hard work and putting in the time and effort to do that. So, one study I read, and I wish I could find it now, but I can't, is that when people put happiness front and center, they're actually less happy. Like, this is surprising, right? Like, what? But I believe it too at the same time, because it can become this obsessive process. Like, oh my gosh, I have to be happy. I have to be happy. Why am I not? Why am I not? And oftentimes the work I do in my office with people is finding moments of happiness versus trying to think like, I am happy, period. Okay, like we all go through emotional states in our day. We all go through ups and downs. And overall, we want to feel like overall we feel happier. But also, like, let's look at very small moments that make us happy. Perhaps when you see your child come out of school, like that makes me really happy every time. Perhaps when you see a beautiful flower. Perhaps when you step outside and the weather is just gorgeous. Perhaps huddling under your quilt or your blanket, perhaps that makes you happy. Like just catching those smaller moments instead of reaching for this very vague, undefined happiness, quote unquote. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing that I want to say before we really talk about this is that not everyone believes that the goal is happiness in life. There's so much suffering in the world, and the goal is rather to find meaning, not that, oh, I'm never going to suffer and I don't want to. Like, no, people suffer. We all suffer in different ways, but the more that you can find meaning, then that's really the goal versus happiness, quote unquote. Scott Peck writes about that a lot. I picked up one of his books recently. It's an old book, The Road Less Traveled and Beyond, and he talks about this in his book, about meaning, finding meaning versus are you going to walk out and be happy all the time? Like, no, you may not. Meaning may give more purpose and depth to your life than quote unquote happiness, this temporary pleasures. So those are two things that I wanted to say. And then I went to get to this study that I found in terms of how hypnosis can help happiness. Before I talk about this, I am going to say that at the end of this podcast, there is a hypnosis for happiness. Okay, for like a future-based kind of happiness. I took one aspect of that program and said, hey, let's do this. So a gong is going to sound before that happens. And if you're driving, you need to make sure you turn off the podcast, okay? Or if you're like, let's say in the gym or something, right? Like turn off the podcast. Don't listen to it in the gym or while you're driving. Like wait to listen to that when you're in a safe place where you can relax. This study was done by Nicole, and I'm going to butcher her last name, just going to tell you right here, and I apologize to her in advance. Ruschart. Not a bad shot, right? Ruyschaert. Ruschart. Nicole Ruschart. It was published in the American Journal of Clinical Hypnosis in 2014, so pretty recently, as this podcast goes to air. And she looked at this whole program of happiness. Like, all right, what do we do? Do we just do hypnosis? And can we affect happiness that way? Or do we need to do all these other things? Like she looked at a lot of research around this. And what she found is a couple of things. So the act of receiving hypnosis and positive imagery makes people happier, period. Okay? I think this is so funny, but it makes sense, right? Like, oh, you get to lie down somewhere and get some positive imagery and relax and rest. Like, yeah, why wouldn't that make you feel a little happier, right? Like, that's awesome. So she found that reliving positive experiences from the past will help people feel happier. So when you recall something really good that happened to you, that makes you feel happier. Gratefulness diaries. Like this has been researched a lot, actually, and I'm going to read you some of what she put in her study. So there was a study done in 2003 by Emmons and McCullough, and the participants were 3 conditions. So one group was asked to write down 5 things they were grateful for that happened in the last week for each of the 10 weeks of the study. This is called gratitude condition. Second group was asked to write down 5 daily hassles from the previous week. And then the third group just listed 5 events without being told whether to focus on positive or negative. Okay, so 3 groups. People in the gratitude condition that recalled happy things that happened to them. Oh, okay, this is a total tongue twister. I can't say it. People that recalled happy things that happened to them. Okay, there you go. They felt 25% happier. And they measure these on like different scales and stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. They were more optimistic about the future. They felt better about their lives. They even exercised about an hour and a half more per week than those in the hassles condition, or the just like write about whatever you want, positive or negative events condition is what they called it. So that's pretty significant, right? Like that is really good, I think. So gratitude journals, absolutely. Then what she did is have people read their gratitude journals and re-experience some of that under hypnosis. So the sounds, the feelings, the sensations, like really solidify some of those positive experiences from the past under hypnosis. So that is really interesting. And she felt like that helped happiness. Another thing was feeling more connected to someone who influenced your life positively in the past. So that's another thing. Like you can write them letters or give them a phone call, like something like that. And then more connected to people in general, but particularly that you're contributing. So doing some kind of service that has meaning to it for you. I will say that service has been a huge part of my life. But from time to time, I'll sign up for something. It's just not a good fit for me. And then I don't like going. It doesn't feel good. So I've come to recognize that over the years. Like, okay, I need to find something that's a good fit in terms of service, not just do anything. All right. So keep that in mind. And then the other thing that she talks about is future-based happiness under hypnosis. So going to the future and imagining yourself happy, like imagining a happy event, and then wrapping those feelings up under hypnosis and then bringing them back to the present and then opening them again. Like, yeah, that's amazing. Like our imagination is amazing. That is how I feel. Like we can affect so much stuff in our body, our immune systems, our psychology with our imagination. I just think it's like this lovely gift to us, our imaginations. That is what we're going to do today. Actually, we're doing a future-based hypnosis. And of course, you're going to pick the event, right? I'm not going to name it for you because you're just listening to this. I don't know you. So there's no way I could do that. I'm not going to say in the future, we're all going to such and such, like no. Right? It's individual for everybody. So you're going to pick the event, but I'm going to guide you through that and then guide you through wrapping up those feelings and bringing them back to the present. Again, you can always feel free to listen to this at any time. Feel free to share it. Podcasts are free, right? So they're a wonderful thing to share with friends. So we're going to have fun with this. So to just wrap up, these were different factors she found that affected happiness in her study, and they're wonderful things to think about, to put on your long-term goal list, like all of that stuff, okay? Before we get started with the hypnosis, remember you can find all kinds of stuff out about me. That sounds stalkerish, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. You could just go to my website, drlizhypnosis.com, if you want more free hypnosis files, or you want to buy some. Or maybe you're local to the Fort Lauderdale, Broward County area, and you want to come in and work on feeling better, work on feeling happier. I am right there with you. So if you're driving, this would be the time to turn the podcast off. Okay, go listen to another one, something like that, because we're about to go into hypnosis. And if you're not driving, great. Like find a comfortable place to sit down or relax in. And maybe your office, it may be your car, it may be at home. Any of those will work. Maybe you're out at a park. That would be awesome, right? Just make sure it's a safe place though. All right, here we go. Just start by rolling your eyes all the way up to the sky or ceiling, and then closing them from top to bottom. And put yourself into a dreamlike state. Soften any areas of tension and let your breath be slow and even. Imagine a wave of relaxation starting above your head and moving down past your feet, relaxing each part of your body, each set of cells and muscles, tendons and tissue as it goes. Let your whole body go into a deeper relaxation and let it feel wonderful. Imagine it as beautiful. In this moment, let yourself feel good no matter what else is going on in your life. It's okay to feel good right here, right now, just for this short time period. If any guilt comes up around this, imagine the shape and form of the guilt. See if it has a color or a sound. And then see that floating away over the horizon. Just let it go. Let it float away. With each exhale, as you go deeper into relaxation, let background noises become background and fade far, far into the distance, not needing your attention right now. My voice can do that too, or you can pay attention to every word I say. Either way is okay. What matters is that you're here and you're using a tool to help yourself feel more relaxed and happier. Now, think of a specific time in the future that will bring you joy and happiness. Take a moment to really see this in your mind. Think of where you are and what you're doing. You may be alone, or if you're with someone, picture them there with you. You may be doing an activity, or you may simply be relaxing. Whatever you think of is okay. Just notice what's there, what's happening, who's with you, what it smells like, what the air is like, even what sounds are around you. It may be very peaceful and quiet, or there may be specific sounds in your future event. Just notice. You may see this like a movie, or it may be a feeling. Just notice how it shows up for you. Now notice your face in the future and how happy it looks, how wonderful you feel in your body. There may be a smile on your face, slight or large, or it may just be a look of contentment. There may be excitement along with that, but some good feeling is there. And this is the time to feel that feeling and let that feeling of happiness spread all through your body, down through the tips of your toes, all the way out your fingertips, all through your very relaxed body. See your whole body resonating with happiness. Notice this in your future time and place. It feels so good, like a beautiful warm feeling in your body, in your soul, and in your heart. If there are others around you, let them notice how happy you are. Let them see you glowing and feeling so good. And notice that they are happy for you as well. They are happy for your happiness. I'd like for you to store these feelings. Hold on to them, feeling them deep, deep in your body, in every cell, these feelings of happiness. These are a special gift that you can take back with you, back into the present. You're able to time travel with this beautiful feeling of happiness, of joy, of contentment. Imagine wrapping these up and bringing them back to the present as a wonderful gift. Now, in the present, imagine opening this gift. What a beautiful gift you've given yourself. These feelings spread all through your body right here, right now, helping you feel happy anytime that you need to. You'll be able to do this as you move forward in your life. Perhaps you're moving towards this imaginary event. Perhaps not. It doesn't matter if it actually happens exactly that way or not. What matters is that you've tapped into your ability to give this gift to yourself now, and that you're able to access these feelings whenever you need to. You'll be able to close your eyes, feel the feelings of happiness and contentment and joy spread through your body. You can stay here with this feeling as long as you like. If you need to reorient, then the number 1 after I count from 5 to 1 will be a signal to reorient, feel grounded and peaceful, and to keep this feeling of happiness with you for as long as you need it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.